Hey, what's up, guys? And today we're going to talk about the rest of winter and what the upcoming pattern could be. Um, if you guys like this video, hit the like button, and if you enjoy the weather, please subscribe. Let's get right into it. So first, you're taking a look at the picture or the temperatures for tonight, and you can see in the central U.S. you're dealing with negative teens and the negative 20s, and you see even in Texas you're in the single digits. In the east, you're all in the teens or 20s, and you're pretty much in the below freezing until you get to the south, Georgia, and Florida. So pretty much below freezing temperatures for the whole entire United States right now, which just shows you how historic this cold really is, and it might end up being the coldest air of the season. But what can we expect for the rest of winter? So the past few days, there's been some talk about how winter might be over, but they're about a week ago. But now things are starting to change, and it's looking like it might stay stormy and cold. So this is the 12Z GFS model, and you can see there's your storm going out to sea. And it stays cold in the east, and then it kind of warms up. And then right in this 22nd to 26th time frame, you start to get pretty quiet. You have snow showers in the northwest, some thunderstorms in the south, but overall pretty quiet. And then you see right around the 27, 28 time frame, you see his trough start to begin. And that is where in the western part of the U.S. you see that big H, and you see the red lines. That means it's above freezing, and anywhere in the blue lines means it's below freezing. And you can see how it kind of drops down, almost forms like a U. That is what a trough is called. And typically when you get it's what happens when the polar vortex and the North Pole, pieces of it break off, and think of it as like a big water droplet, and it breaks off and falls down into the U.S., and that's what creates these big troughs that bring a ton of cold air. And all of our historic cold outbreaks, they come from that. So around the 26th through 22nd, it's pretty dry. Not going to have a lot to talk about. But then you get into this 27th, 28th time frame, when you get that dip in the jet stream and that cold plunge. And then you see that you have this storm system coming across the U.S. going eastward, and then it becomes a decent winter storm. But obviously, this is going to change 1,000 times. Storm system might not even happen, but you can see when you have this setup at the trough, you typically stay pretty stormy. That's just based on the past. And you can see in the beginning of first weekend of March, or the first week of March, you get a very, very big dip, and you can see even more of a ridge. And this is where this occurs. This will also, you can see it produces a storm for the Carolinas, which in March is unheard of. But if you get that cold dip right there, that's very possible, and most modeling and the National Weather Service is pointing towards that, as I'll show you in a minute what their new 8 to 14 day outlook looks like. But yeah, you can see that, and then after that, there's even more of a dip and another storm. So overall, it looks like the next few weeks might not be the end of winter, and it might actually stay stormy. So taking a look at the Euro model, it shows the same exact thing, actually. It shows those two dips in the jet stream. And anyway, here's your storm. Starts to get warm, pretty dry, and then you have this 26, 27 time frame. There's your storm. It's not really a storm. All we know is that there might be a piece of energy in this during this time frame, and you can see that cold plunge in the east and that ridging in this west. And then you keep this going. In the first week, you have another big ridge, just like the GFS model, and that brings another storm. So as long as we have these big pieces of cold air that break off from the polar vortex and drop down into the U.S., you will have opportunity for storms. We have absolutely no idea where these storms could be. They could be in the north, they could be in the south, they could be central U.S., but we don't even know if there's going to be storms yet. But all signs and long-range data are pointing towards a stormy pattern ahead and very cold. So this is your temperature anomaly for temperatures below average. You can see this is the next few days, and just like the other ones, you can see it starts to warm up. This is where it becomes dry, and then you move it into the 27th, 28th time frame, and there's your piece of cold air that drops down for the 27th, 28th, right about there. And you can see that's where that ridge forms, and that's when you might get a storm system. And then the big one happens in the first week of March. You can see right there, you have negative 30 degrees below average in Texas. And that's just an insane ridge, and that's insane for March, but we've seen it happen before. And if you're going to have the snow in March, you had to have the cold. So if it's looking like we're going to have the cold, then the main part is just if you can get a storm to line up and come together, you could get a storm. So typically in March, you have more precipitation because just the way like the sun is starting to tilt, and you just have more energy coming from like the Gulf, and everything is just warmer typically, and you have more energy. And then you get another one. You get another one in the 7th. So it looks like the next couple of weeks, in the first week or two of March, might stay active. And you can see this on the new 8 to 14-day temperature outlook that the National Weather Service put out. You can really see how that ridge forms, and in the east it's completely below normal. In the west it's completely above average. So definitely have to keep watching this. All the signs are pointing toward a stormy cold pattern ahead. Could this change? Yes. Will it change? Yes. So we really have absolutely no idea, but just taking a look at the data, long-range data, which is wishy-washy, but all signs point towards that. And this is the 18Z GFS, so I might as well take a look at it. Here's your 27-28 area, and it still shows that storm. So we're definitely going to keep watching this pattern change. It might stay active, it might not, but it's looking like it's going to stay active. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. See ya.